Once again, my games of the week end up being the games of the week. I had two 3-1 teams taking on two 2-2 teams. Megatwan against Garth Mall, underdog anchor champ against Cup This Chub. Both of the 3-1 teams lost. That would be Garth Mall and Cup This Chub. Both of the 2-2 teams won, Megatwan and underdog anchor champ. That gives us a huge clutch of 3-2 teams. 7 teams are 3-2 now after 5 weeks. 2 teams at 4-1. And yes, I won Garbage Bowl number 2, which leaves only 2 teams left at 0-5. 666 against Troy Polamalu. Good luck to both of them. I'm sure that they are hoping to not end on a winless season. A couple weeks ago, I did a mini power rankings where I said Cup This Chub was my number 1 team, and it immediately jinxed him. He is now dropped to number 3 on the standings. I would say that my new number 1 is Otto Pickens, who has managed to keep to 4-1. He's got close to the most points overall in the entire league. A-Chan in the membrane is still number 1 in points overall. I still like him as the number 2 in the rankings. You know, we haven't talked about the picks board in a little while, the Capper contest. And, you know, I said the other week I wasn't going to give him a shout out because I went 6-0 in the Capper contest, but he's gone 3-0 again and is 8-1 overall since joining. DJ V7893 is taking the league by storm in his first month of action. Again, 8-1 overall. That's unbelievable. In fact, the entire Capper contest had an incredible week this week. True Haynes, who is our reigning champion from last year, this was the first week that he stepped out, and man, he picked a dangerous week to not put in picks because 7 of the 8 remaining cappers went 2-1 or 3-0. Only person that did worse than 2-1 was Cup This Chub. He got 1-2 this week. Everybody else went 2-1 or 3-0. DJ V7 with an 8-1 clip. He is, of course, our capper of the week this week. But another shout out to Megatwan, who also went 3-0 this week. The commissioner also posted into the group thread just before I went on air with this video, proposing that the lowest scoring team of each week will have to pay for, I'm guessing it's a $10 12 team parlay, whatever the number is. I'm all for it. And I say that as somebody who has been the lowest scoring point total in a given week. I was in week 2. I would have happily thrown $10 on a 12 team parlay. So I think we should definitely do that going forward. I love the suggestion. And I think we ought to do it this week. So far, I see 8 people have voted for it in the group thread. I say it's official. This week, week 6, whoever is coming in last, I'm going to call you out. You got to pay for a 12-team parlay next week.
That's amazing. Oh my God.
Hooray.
Yay.
Special mention to Return of the King for outlasting Troy Polamalu this week to keep him at 0-5 and keep Return of the King up at 3-2, keeping his playoff hopes alive. Now, let's move on to next week's action. What are we looking at for our games of the week? Oh, clearly myself versus Cup This Chub. He's desperately trying to win this game. The jinx is in full effect if he loses this one. Megatwan versus A-Chan in the membrane. If A-Chan wins this one, he's taking the number 1 spot in the power rankings. If Megatwan wins, oh boy, I think he's looking at a playoff berth. Don't quote me on that yet. That might be another jinx. But Megatwan, if he wins this game, he's looking in really great position. Then we've got Return of the King against Achilles Heel. Just a scant week to 10 days out from their wedding day. The soon-to-be newlyweds taking each other on in the Antoine and Friends Football League there's about a 10-point gap between them, but 3-2 versus 4-1. This is a massive, massive matchup. And then, of course, another 3-2 versus 4-1 in Garth Mall against Otto Pickens. Otto Pickens is looking like he's going to win that one easily, though. So, Return of the King, Achilles Heel, Megatwan, A-Chan in the membrane, Bo Lever against Cup This Chub. Those are your matchups of the week. Now let's jump into quick 6 for week 6. Let's go 6-0. DJ is going to get another 3-0. The amount of free money that is being printed on the Antoine and Friends Radio Network is unbelievable. And yet nobody is here other than us 12 people to cash in on it. Let's see how we do this week. All right, and now on to the quick six. We got dogs are live once again. This worked out the last time we did it. We went 6-0 when the dogs were live. The dogs are barking today. Commanders plus 6.5 against the Ravens. I'm riding Jaden Daniels until the fucking wheels fall off. Commanders plus 6.5. Denver plus 3. We are built to destroy the Los Angeles Chargers. We usually suck against the rest of our division, but not the Chargers. I'm taking us at home plus 3 against Justin Herbert. Green Bay -5 against the Cardinals. The 49ers have choked a couple of times against what have typically been easy divisional opponents for them. Green Bay, I think, is going to expose this Cardinals team for the weak, fraudulent selves that they are. I think this is going to look a lot more like the Commanders game did against them. Give me Green Bay -5 under that key number is 6. Jets +3. This one was -1.5 on the look ahead. Robert Saleh just got fired. I think that we're going to see the classic rally around the flag game for the New York Jets at home. The Bills defense has looked listless. Josh Allen has looked lost. I'm taking the Jets to bounce back here. I don't think they're going to do much else the rest of the season, but I do think they're going to cover the 3 points here. Giants +3.5. Sunday night football against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals defense looks porous, and Danny Jones has looked like Danny Dimes. Give me the Giants +3.5. The hook on Sunday night football. Give it to me. And then finally, I guess I should have put this one earlier because it's technically before the Giants game. But Detroit Lions on the road against the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. I just think that this is a mismatch in the trenches more than anything else. The offensive line for the Detroit Lions is much better than the D line for the Cowboys. The D line for the Detroit Lions is much better than the O line for the Cowboys. I think it begins and ends in the trenches, and I expect Jared Goff to have a nice game in Jerry World. Thank you all so much. Like I said, this is going to be a short week. Tail DJ, fade Alex. Tail DJ, fade Cup this Chubb. And as usual, here is all 6 of my picks. Suck it, Simon. And see you all next week.